Hi guys, welcome back to Skincare Sunday. Dr. L here at Revtial. Today's topic is aging in your 30s. Last week we focused all about the 20s, that first decade where we start to see early aging. Now we're going to talk about the 30s. This is when payback happens. So that sun exposure from childhood, from your teen years and your 20s really shows up in the 30s with early aging occurring, lines and wrinkles showing up, volume loss. So let's focus on the 30s and what can we do during this decade to be proactive about aging. So let's talk first about skin aging in your 30s. This is the time when collagen, elastin, and hyaluronic acid loss in the skin really starts to take a toll. This is the time to be even more proactive. So yes, sun avoidance, sun protection, retinol, time to step it up to every day in your 30s. And it's time to add an antioxidant and perhaps a growth factor depending on how much you've aged. Stepping up your skincare game in your 30s really pays off when it comes to facial aging. Let's talk a little bit more about treatments for skin aging in this decade. So monthly facials and microneedling were perfect for skin aging treatments in our 20s. In our third decade of life, it's time to step it up into an energy-based treatment. That collagen loss really accelerates during this decade. So to keep the skin tight, firm, and youthful, we want an energy-based device that tightens that skin and builds robust elastin and collagen. So our F microneedling in our practice with the Genius, and a new treatment we'll be introducing later this month to tighten the skin as well. This is the time to talk about energy to build robust collagen and elastin. Now, if you've had a lot of sun damage and you've got a lot of pigmentation in your skin, this is the decade when you might want to introduce a photofacial into your anti-aging routine. This is going to go after that photo damage and break up the hyperpigmentation in your skin. We can also do it using skincare as well. So always consider consultation before deciding on a treatment to go after aging. So the 30s is a time when fine lines now become wrinkles. They start to settle. This is the time, if you haven't done so already, to think about a wrinkle relaxer to prevent that settling in or etching in of lines. So that is Dysport Botox. These relax the muscles around our eyes, our frown, our forehead to soften that movement and prevent that deep set line from forming. So injectables, this is the time. The 30s is a time also when we see volume loss. So the changes in the compartments of the face begin to occur. We see softening of our cheeks and sagging. We see loss of volume in the outer cheeks. This area becomes heavy in the lower face. The temples also start to disintegrate. So this is the time to also think about injectables when it comes to volume. Let's talk more about my favorite way of treating early volume loss. So you guys know I'm all about natural results. To me, it is super important when we're addressing volume loss in the third decade of life to do it naturally. My favorite way of doing this is using an injectable called Sculptra. It is not your typical filler. It actually induces your body to make collagen wherever it's injected. So it's a very subtle, soft, natural way to go after early volume loss in the 30s. I love Sculptra as a foundation when we're addressing any kind of volume problem. There's still a role for filler, however. To me, filler is about using it locally to help lift us in the outer cheeks, the jawline. It's about support when it comes to hyaluronic acid fillers. And Sculptra to me is about volume restoration and collagen building, which is going after the aging process itself. So again, the best way to really address volume loss in the third decade is through consultation. I'd love to talk to you guys if you're concerned or if you really want to be proactive in doing an individualized plan when it comes to aging is the best way to address it, to keep your results natural. That is all for Skincare Sunday, guys. I hope you learned something with me about aging in your 30s. Next week, we're going to talk about my favorite decade so far, my 40s, and aging during this decade. So stay tuned for that. Take care.